What is the spiritual dream meaning of the color yellow? Let's talk about Vincent van Gogh. Tormented, brilliant, a man spiritually cracked wide open. He gave us some of the most luminous art in human history, all while completely unraveling. And the whole thing, his entire life, it revolved around one single color. See, he didn't just paint with yellow. He burned with it. He drenched himself in it so completely that it became a kind of fever, a religion even, a psychosis. You look at his sunflowers, the starry night, the yellow house. It was an all-consuming fire. He even wrote to his brother Theo about it. He said he wanted the yellow house in Arles to be a house of light, a sanctuary for artists, a temple. But he wasn't just decorating. He was performing a ritual that he didn't understand, and that ritual was about to consume him whole. His mind and his art, they just spiraled together this catastrophic, luminous dive straight into the sun. He was taking digitalis, a medication that literally physically makes you see more yellow. He cut off his own ear. He checked himself into an asylum. And he just kept painting yellow fields, yellow wheat, right up until he shot himself at 37 and that wheat field just swallowed him whole.
But here's the thing. His obsession, it wasn't just madness. It was a call. It was a signal from the collective unconscious trying to blast through his damaged ego. Yellow was his soul screaming to be seen, and he didn't know how to answer it without destroying himself. Don't you dare let that be you.
So when that color, yellow, blazes into your dream life, your psyche is not just decorating. It is sending you a dispatch, a direct message from the deepest archive of human spiritual experience. The only question is, can you even read it? So you need to ask yourself this, with total, brutal honesty. In your dream, did that yellow feel warm and expansive, or was it sickly, overwhelming?
Next question. Were you moving toward the source of the yellow, or were you running from it? Be honest with yourself.
And what was its vessel? What was carrying the color? A person? Some object? The landscape itself? Because the context is everything.
And finally, the big one.
Did the yellow feel like a gift, or did it feel like a warning?
Look, these distinctions are not trivial details. They are the entire difference between a dream confirming you're on the right path and one screaming at you to change course immediately.
Now, to understand the message, you have to understand the language it's written in. And that language is the language of the solar archetype. In Jungian psychology, yellow is the color of this archetype. It's the great principle of consciousness, of logos, of illumination. It's that deep, primal drive to see and to know. Now, this solar energy, it lives inside every single psyche, regardless of gender. But in women, Jung called it the animus. Sister, it's that inner force that's driving your ambition, your clarity, your rational thought, and your spiritual seeking. When yellow floods your dreams, it means your animus is activated. Something inside of you is reaching for the sun. And this is not new. This is ancient. We're talking about the solar hero, Ra in Egypt, Apollo in Greece, Christ as the light of the world, the Buddha sitting there in golden light. They all embody this exact same archetypal yellow force. This isn't some coincidence. This is the grammar of the soul. So you have to understand this. When yellow shows up in your dreams, it is not a random neurological event. You are receiving a transmission from 10,000 years of human wisdom. Every woman who has ever dreamed of gold light and woken up knowing deep in her bones that something had shifted, she was reading the same ancient text you are now. Which brings us to the choice, because you have to answer the call. The only real question is how. When you ignore this signal, when you roll over, forget the dream, and go right back to the same numbing routine, you are doing the exact opposite of what Van Gogh did. His tragedy was that he couldn't turn the yellow down. The danger for you is that you keep turning it off. And make no mistake, both of those choices are fatal, being consumed by the fire or extinguishing it completely. Either way, the soul dies. The yellow dream isn't asking you to be comfortable. It has absolutely no interest in your comfort. It's asking you to wake up. And it will keep asking, and it'll get louder and louder until you do. The only question left is, will you answer?
Part 2. So, you're dreaming in yellow. We've covered the basics, but now we get into the specifics. Because your psyche doesn't speak in generalities. Nope. It speaks in a precise code, and you absolutely need the right key to unlock it.
The difference between a golden sun and a sickly pale yellow isn't just a hue, it's the difference between a divine call to action and a stark warning from your own shadow. So let's decode the first and honestly the most powerful category of these signals.
This isn't just your brain replaying the day. This is a direct line to your highest self. This is what Jung called the numinous experience. It's the jackpot. The real question is, are you ready to listen?
If you see this bright golden light, you need to understand that it's not a suggestion. It's a key to a door that is swinging wide open for you, but only for a limited time. Your higher self is telling you a massive transformation is on the table. The only question is whether you have the courage to actually walk through it.
What's so crucial here is that this isn't about figuring it out. The dream means you already know the answer. You're just afraid to act on it. This is a demand for action, not more contemplation. And you know, this divine energy doesn't just show up as pure light. It uses other primal symbols too.
Dreaming of the sun, that's the organizing principle of your entire psyche, demanding that your small, fearful ego get out of the way. And golden rivers? That's your unconscious telling you to stop looking for answers everywhere else. The source of wisdom is inside you. So, how does this massive divine energy translate into symbols you see every day?
Because your psyche is brilliant. It uses the mundane to deliver the profound, embedding its most urgent messages in symbols you already know and understand.
Let's see how this divine energy shows up with something as simple as a flower. Dreaming of yellow flowers, especially sunflowers, isn't just a pleasant image, it's a challenge. It's a full-on audit of your entire spiritual life.
The dream is asking, are you actually growing, or are you just performing growth? Is your practice a comfortable habit, or is it fundamentally rewiring who you are? This same challenge appears when the messenger isn't a plant, but an animal.
When a yellow animal, a lion, a snake, a bird appears, it's a message from your most ancient, instinctual self. Your gut has been screaming a truth that your logical mind keeps trying to shut down. The dream is telling you to trust your instincts, right now. This same directness applies not just to living messengers, but to objects.
Who is giving the object? Who is receiving it? The dream is showing you, in no uncertain terms, the energy flow in your key relationships. It's revealing who is feeding your light and who is draining it. But not all yellow light is nourishing. Sometimes it's a warning flare.
What happens when the solar energy of clarity turns toxic? When the light doesn't illuminate but blinds? Your psyche has a code for that too.
This is where yellow becomes a brutal mirror, forcing you to look at the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. It starts when that bright, clear light goes pale.
This is intelligence gone rotten. It's the shadow side of clarity. You've thought about something for so long that you've intellectualized the life out of it, turning potential wisdom into anxious, paralyzing confusion. You're stuck in your head, and this dream is the alarm bell. This conflict between inner reality and outer appearance shows up most clearly with clothing. In dreams, clothing is your persona, the mask you present to the world. So yellow clothing asks a devastatingly simple question. Are you wearing the light or just performing it for an audience? The gap between those two is your real work. But sometimes the message is even more blunt, more literal.
Your unconscious will borrow symbols from the waking world to get its point across. A yellow stop sign or caution tape in a dream is not a metaphor. It is a direct command. Stop what you're doing, get a second opinion, and do not proceed until you understand what you're missing. And yet, even in the darkest moments, yellow can appear not as a warning, but as the ultimate lifeline.
This is one of the most powerful images your psyche can produce. It's the hero's journey, distilled into a single frame. It's the sign that hope is not a delusion.
If you are going through a difficult time and you dream of a single point of yellow light in a dark place, a candle, a star, a single flower, that is the self telling you the light is real. It's not wishful thinking, it's your guide out of the forest. And this brilliantly illustrates the path forward.
The application here is non-negotiable. Find that one small thing that still has a spark of life in it and give it everything you have. Stop wasting your energy on the parts of your life that are already gone. This dream is your instruction manual for survival and rebirth. Yellow in your dreams is never just background noise. It is the most urgent signal your psyche can send. It's telling you to wake up, pay attention, and act. This dream isn't entertainment, it is a summons. The only question left is, how will you answer?
Part 3. We are done talking about what yellow dreams mean. We are now talking about what you are going to do about them, starting today.
Look at this. This right here, this is the entire point. Treating this work as just some kind of spiritual entertainment while your soul is starving, I mean, that's not just a distraction, it's practically a crime against yourself. We're not doing that, not today, because information without action is completely useless.
So here it is, your toolkit. 10 practical applications, 10 urgent assignments. I promise, you're in here somewhere. Your only job right now is to find yourself in these next few minutes, and then do the work. Okay, first things first, we go internal. Look, before you can change a single thing out there, you have to rewire what's happening in here. This is all about you building a completely new relationship with your own mind. All right, this one is for the woman who lives entirely in her head. You know who you are. Your mind runs 1,000 miles an hour, analyzing every single thing to death. If that sounds like you need to listen very, very closely. The task itself is simple, a journal, but only for the color yellow in your dreams. But it's the timing that matters. It's everything. You do this before you touch your phone. Because every time you scroll first thing in the morning, you are literally slamming a window shut on your own soul. So for 30 days, just 30, give your subconscious the first word. You'll be amazed at the patterns that start to emerge. Okay, now for the woman who thinks in pictures, who feels through symbols. If aesthetics and energy are your native language, this next technique is for you. And let's be clear, this is not about decorating. This is applied psychology. Yeah, this isn't about making things look pretty. This is a formal psychological technique. You are literally building a physical anchor for your psyche. See, your environment is constantly programming your unconscious mind. Your job is to curate one single space that sends an intentional, powerful signal, one that's aligned with the energy that is trying to come through. If you're in a dark place right now, I mean feeling lost, completely overwhelmed, maybe in pain, this next practice is specifically for you. And I'm telling you, it is non-negotiable. Listen, this isn't wishful thinking. This is neurology. Your brain actually can't distinguish between a vivid imagination and reality. So for 90 seconds, you are literally rewiring your inner state toward light. Your motivation is irrelevant here. You do not have the luxury of waiting to feel better before you start doing better. It's 90 seconds. You can do this. Now, for the woman who's already on the path, you meditate, you journal, you know the landscape of your soul pretty well. You might think you've got this covered, but your yellow dreams, they are a crystal clear sign that your current framework is smaller than your soul. It's a call to go deeper. You already know the Western myths. It's time to expand your vocabulary. These ancient traditions have spent millennia mapping the exact territory you're standing in right now. Amaterasu's story of emerging from a dark cave, that is your story of overcoming self-doubt. You're not inventing a whole new language for your experience. You're just learning one that's thousands of years old. Okay, so we've done the internal work. Now we move outward. Why? Because an inner light that isn't put into action in the world is just a hobby. Your illumination was never just for you. It's for what you do. This is for the woman with goals, the builder, the creator, the one who knows she is here to make a real impact. This is about understanding the crucial difference between raw ambition and true purpose. First, you've got to understand your boon. That's the treasure you've earned that you must bring back to your community. Then, you draw your solar map. You, right at the center, with rays extending out to all the people and causes your purpose is going to serve. See, ambition without this map just eats itself. Van Gogh had a sun inside of him, but no way to channel it. Don't let that be your story. Okay, now for the woman who connects through movement, through sensation, through the deep wisdom of her own body. I want you to hear this. This is not a metaphor. Your dream about a yellow sun might literally be your nervous system screaming for actual sunlight. The specific light frequency at sunrise, it's like medicine for your brain chemistry. This isn't just spiritual, it's biological. And it's free. Your only job is to show up. You know exactly who you are. Your whole world revolves around connection, harmony, and the people in your life. And you also know there's that one relationship where you're playing small. This isn't about being unkind, it's about being honest. That one single conversation where you stop managing their reaction and just state your truth, that is an act of radical self-reclamation. And the urgency here is real, because practicing self-erasure long enough, well, it starts to feel like your actual identity. And that is how you become a shadow of yourself. Just stop the lesson.
Okay, this is it. It doesn't matter where you found yourself in the last few minutes. This right here is your final call to action. There are no more excuses.
You think this is all nonsense. Good. You know what? I love a skeptic, but a true skeptic, they test the hypothesis.
So I dare you. Go on and prove it all wrong. Become a scientist of your own experience. For just 21 days, track the yellow dreams, apply one tool from this list, and keep brutally honest notes on what changes. If nothing happens, hey, you can walk away. But dismissing a framework without even testing it, that's not rationalism. That's just laziness dressing itself up as intelligence. So run the experiment.
And finally, for the woman who is just so tired, the one who truly feels like she has nothing left in the tank, this is for you.
Let's be really clear about something. Your exhaustion is the very reason this is so urgent. You can't afford to keep living the life that drained you dry. So this practice, a single yellow object, one conscious breath, one question. It's the smallest possible hinge that can swing the biggest door. It's a microdose of attention, and it is enough to begin.
And lastly, for those of you who've been through the fire and have wisdom to share, your work is not done. The hero's journey is incomplete until that treasure is brought back to the tribe. Hoarding your wisdom is a spiritual dead end. Your healing was never, ever just for you. This dream is your notification. You're ready. Go.
So, this is it. This is the ultimate question. It doesn't matter which practice you chose. Just look at this and ask it now. What is trying to wake up in you? Your dreams have already given you the answer. Now, all you have to do is listen.